Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Live episode 333. Triple three, baby, triple three. I'm always looking at like my screen where my cameras are, or my videos at. My camera's over here, so I'm always off, and I need more monitors. Anyways, welcome to this Xbox Live episode triple three, physical versus digital. That's right. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709, and with me always is my good buddy Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob, also known as Presar. Hello, hello, hello. Actually, I should say hello, hello, hello for the triple hello for triple three.
That works. And with us also
Yep.
is Braun. Maybe.
Good evening. No, I'm here. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Just to go along with that. So I'm trying to figure out if we all sound good. I can hear you today, Wing.
Yay. Woo.
Oh, and I heard Raw, which is good. And I hear myself. So we're all good today. Nice. First try.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Only took 333 episodes.
Yeah, we'll
get that
mess
worked
it up
out.
next week, though.
Yeah,
So,
probably.
all right. Well, we have a ton of stuff to talk about, so we need to dive right into it. So first of all, we got to do the usual. You can continue to support our show by one option. We have many. We may have 333 ways. One of which is by doing your shopping at our affiliate link on Amazon.com. If you like to shop through the mail or you like Amazon, use our affiliate link, please. This helps us out, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Except for what you're buying, but it doesn't cost you extra. Go to thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, and then that will take you to our affiliate link. Also, a new option that we do have, and some of you have already moved on this, is becoming a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/thisxboxlife. This allows you to say, hey, I want to give these guys a set amount. I want to donate every month, and it'll automatically do it for you. You set the donation amount, and we really appreciate that. Also, we do have some tiers, so look at our page, and you'll see we do have some rewards based on what your donation option is. And we may be coming up with other things in the future. We'll see how these go. Next option is if you just want to do a one-time donation, you can go to right on our Twitch page. We have the link right there, which you can go to twitchalerts.com/donate/thisxboxlife. And if you would like to support us by buying gear, you can now buy official This Xbox Life t-shirts, hats, I don't know, all kinds of tons of stuff, mugs, cups. I've got a bunch of t-shirts and cups coming my way. They'll probably be here tomorrow or Tuesday, so maybe next weekend I'll be able to show you the t-shirt and maybe the mug, as long as yeah, you'll see it all next week. I'll put it on camera for you guys. But cafepress.com/this Xbox Life, and we'll probably be adding a whole ton more gear, but there's all kinds of stuff out there. There's a ton of stuff to choose from, all Sport and TXL logos. So, and with big shout out, I don't know if we did this last week or we've done it in the previous week, but a big shout out to Jap28 and a friend of his as well, who have worked together to help us create that amazing looking logo, which you will now see on that Cafe Press store. So thank you very much for that. And your t-shirts, Jap, are on the way as well. They were shipped out Friday. So yours and your buddies are on the way. All right, so with all of that, I think it's time to move on to what we've been playing. So, Rob, why don't we start out with you?
Absolutely, sure. So this week I played a little bit of a bunch of different games. I got to try out Rayman Legends. That's the new game for Xbox One for March, the Games with Gold game. Pretty sweet. I'm actually enjoying it. It's really well done. Ubisoft seems to have really captured that like artsy, cartoony element in the game, and it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it so far. Then went back to Lego Marvel. Played some of that with my son. That was pretty cool. Did some more Hand of Fate. This is a game that I talked about last week. It's kind of like a combination card game and a fighting game, kind of like Rise a little bit. I'm getting a little more involved in the game. It's definitely a lot harder the further you get into it. The first couple of, I'll call them levels, or the first couple of bosses that you uh, go and you fight against, everything's pretty easy, and then all of a sudden, like, whoa, they really ramp things up quite a bit. And it's got an interesting mechanic to it, sort of, where you have cards, which are really like your encounters, and the cards basically kind of do the layout of the. It's not really all dungeon, but it's the area that you're exploring, and you go into different levels and different areas. So the cards are laid out, and you move your little pawn from place to place, and you have different encounters. And I'm actually discovering now that you actually have to really plan, and you have to buy weapons and such, which I really wasn't doing in the first couple of levels. So there's a little bit more depth than I anticipated initially. So it's not going to be quite as easy as I thought it was to just blast through this thing. And then there was something else. What the heck was it? The Crew. So I finally started playing some of The Crew. This is a game that I picked up. That one, I think it was around the holiday sale. They had a deal with Far Cry 4. It was like a bundle, and I picked it up, and I finally started playing it. It's okay. I'm finding that I can only do like one or two races, then I kind of need to move on to something else. So I'll go in there, I'll race one or two times, and then I'll go try something else like Hand of Fate or Rayman. It's not one that I can seem to really sit there for hours and play. But I'm finding myself doing the same thing with Forza Horizon 2 as well. So maybe it's just the whole driving genre game that is the issue, really. But I think it's about it.
Or the fact that the game is garbage.
It's not garbage.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's
But
cop.
no. But that's about it. How about you, Brun?
Well, I played some Rayman Legends, saying that it was free, which is funny because Jameson plays it on the iPad. A different, same Rayman game, but Rayman game.
Yeah, 'cause there's a couple of them on mobile.
Yeah, but there was one like where he always runs and you punch and
Yeah,
stuff. As soon as I
yeah.
started it up and he saw it on the TV, he just stopped and just stared. And then as I was
It's
running and playing the
beautiful.
game, he's like jumping around the floor and stuff like that. He had a blast watching
Nice.
watching me do it. So I'll have to get him playing it. So I played some Destiny, not too much this weekend because they forced me to play a game mode that I didn't want to play, and it kind of frustrated me. So then I switched to Titanfall, which Mark is secretly laughing at me, and I'll explain why, because I'm a dummy. But I started out on level, I think 13 is what I was when I started on Saturday, and now I'm a 39 or something like that. But I was sitting there, I was like, Wing, how do these burn cards work? I keep selecting the 3 burn cards, but they never seem to go away. I thought these things were to go away either when you die or when the round ends. And he says they are. I said, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I said, I'm playing the game and I'm getting like 30,000 points or whatever, so I figured the double XP cards are working, or card is working. He goes, well, when you start the match, you press Y or whatever, and you activate one of the cards. I said, oh, I'm not doing that. So the whole time I've been doing these burn cards, I've had them on like all weekend. I've never been using them. I thought they were in use, but they never were because I didn't follow that
Nice.
last step. Yeah, I'm like, I'm such an idiot.
Now,
So-
what was funny, what really was funny, is he was like, man, I'm getting like 30,000 XP around, and I'm like, it'd be a lot more if you'd actually use the fast learner card.
yeah, yeah, my bad. So,
It's all right.
but that's all I've been playing. So, up to you, Mark.
Alrighty. Okay, first of all, I got to start out. I actually have some pictures to show this week, and hopefully, if I can get them to appear. There we go. Yeah, baby, look at that. Titanfall 100%, 2,000 achievement points out of 2,000. That's right. I did it. I have fully completed this game. It took about 240 hours to get there. I think I'm at 240,
Nice.
something right around there. But you know what? It was, for the most part, it was really a lot of fun. I still love this game. This game is so good. I just, there's a couple modes you had to play that I found really frustrating. I really hate Capture the Flag. Not a fan of Pilot Hunter, and those two were kind of the worst ones that I had to deal with. But you know, I did boost a lot of the stuff, but it was really exciting to. I mean, this was something I never expected to ever get. I never expected to get to Gen 10. Now, if you guys remember when I really got back into this, it was what, 6 weeks ago, maybe,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 to 6 weeks ago, I really got back into this. I was a Gen 4. And
Wow.
the whole introduction of Frontier Defense really, like, amazingly, you can level up so quick, and then it's like all of a sudden I was Gen 5 and Gen 6. And I got into it, man. I was like, oh, I can do this, man. I was going up a gen a day almost. And it was just like, and I found a way with some friends to knock out some of the really hard regen requirements, so we were able to do those. And next thing I know, I'm Gen 1050, and it was just like, this is so awesome. So I do have a huge shout out to Elite Scion, Carbide, Dirty Bite, Gunny, Gunny Chief. I've got to Wrangler Actual, and I apologize if I have left anybody out, but all those guys, we've kind of worked together, and especially Carbide and Elite Scion, we've done a lot of work together to get there. Carbide got his recently, and Elite Scion is really close. In fact, I was hoping to get him there this weekend, but I haven't seen him online to help him out. So hopefully this week he'll be back online and we'll be able to get him there. Also, I wanted to point out, I got to give another big shout out because on Friday night, I think it was Friday night, I was really close, and I got in a match with some guys from the WNG clan, and as you can tell, they're all from the screenshot that I have. They're all Gen 1050s, and we played, and it's like when I got in, I originally got in a Pilot Hunter with these guys, and we just mopped the floor. I mean, they just mopped the floor with the other team. And then I can't remember what happened. I don't know if they left or I left, or I think it switched modes and I left because I'm like, I'm just doing Pilot Hunter. Well, then one of the guys actually sent me an invite to the party. So I hopped in his party and they invited me back to the game. So I'm not even sure why maybe just because I was a Gen 1050, but so I jumped in the game and I realized, oh, it's on CTF. And so, but I played with him anyways, and I mean, we mopped the floor, the other team. And so I was talking to him, and I said, yeah, I only need 2 more wins in Pilot Hunter to have all the achievements done. And the guys were like, what? They're like, you got all the achievements? I said, all I need is 2 more Pilot Hunter wins. I said, I'll have every achievement in this game. So they're like, all right, let's go back to Pilot Hunter. So they went back to Pilot Hunter, and we played 2 more matches with these guys specifically so they could help me get that last achievement. And I'm like, that is awesome. I'm like, most people be like, first of all, they're not going to invite you in if you're not a clan member. You know, there's certainly, and then if you did say that, they're going to be like, oh, let's get on the other team and whoop this guy's butt. You know,
Or they would, you know, if you were on PlayStation, they would go in and they would delete your character or something,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So I was just like, man, these guys are awesome. So I was trying to find out if they had a website or if, you know, if all they play is Titanfall. I got a couple of guys on my friends list now, so I'm gonna find out more information. But they were really nice. It was a really nice group of guys. They were very helpful and friendly. I hope to play again with them, and it was awesome to play with these guys. And then, you know, they're just amazing. They're really good. So I highly recommend look for the WNG clan when you're playing Titanfall. So, but okay, so moving on, I actually got to go back and I'm gonna leave this one up on the screen. Yeah, 100%, baby. So outside of that, I tried that Rayman Legends today. Man, I don't get that. I'm like, it was weird because it starts up and you just kind of run around, and I really don't know what it is I'm punching, or all these little coins or things will fly up to the corner and this bar will change in the top right, and it's like there's like these two wings off of a box, and then they disappear and then they come back, and like these little circles on the wings pop in and fill in, and I have no idea what those are for. There's like nothing tells me what it is, and then I get through this one level. I think I beat a level. I get a score, and then I'm like at a menu, and there's like all these different things, like you can walk back and forth, and I have no idea what anything is. So I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm like, I have no idea what this game's about. I went through a whole level and I have no idea what this game is about. So I don't know. I might have to read up on it, but I did try that. I did play. I'm going to save this one for last because I'm probably going to go on a rant. Okay, so I played Dying Light. I did, now that I've got my Titanfall stuff done, I did go back, play a little bit of Dying Light. I finally got to Old Town. I'm out of the slums, and this game is not, I don't love it as much as I like Dead Island. And what kills me is why. I just don't get why. But I'm still going to play through. It's you know, I do plan to beat the game. I'm just taking my time. Played a little of the Trivial Pursuit game from the Hasbro Family Game Channel, or whatever it's called. Alright, and let me get into this one. I did play Dead or Alive 5 last round. For some reason, yours truly is really stupid and decided to waste a lot of money to purchase the season pass. Why? I don't know.
Because it was there.
It was very expensive. It was like 3 times the price of the game, almost 2.5 times the cost of the game, and all it is costumes. And I knew that, but I like the DOA game. I've always liked it. I've got it on my 360. I didn't buy the season pass there, even though I wanted to. I never did, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it on this one. I want all the stuff. Well, the problem is, I'm going to warn everybody. Take this as a public service announcement. When you purchase that season pass, or that costume pack, I guess as it's called on the Xbox One, it gives you about 235 pieces of DLC. Each piece of DLC is an individual, separate download. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to download 200 plus items at once on your Xbox One, but it doesn't like it. Okay? It does not like it. Thursday, I started this Thursday. Okay? Started the download. The game, or the, okay, so it starts, I mean, I don't even see anything installing. I just see everything queued because there's so many things. It just keeps putting into the queue, The Xbox is like basically at a crawl. It's like I can't get it to do anything. Oh, now it's deciding to do whatever it wants over there. Stop listening to me. So it's kind of, it's doing its own thing. I figure, well, I'll just turn it off, and you know, Friday it's supposed to download in the back, right? That option is set, download in the background. Well, you turn the Xbox off, even though it's on instant on mode. It didn't do anything overnight. So I was in the same boat Friday. Left it on all day Friday. Left it on all day Saturday. By Sunday, I had gotten down to roughly about 48 pieces of DLC still to download, and they refused to download anymore. I couldn't download anything else. Now, mind you, all this is going to an external hard drive with 3 terabytes of space still on it. It refused to download any apps, any games, any DLC, nothing anymore. And I ended up going through, spending the entire Saturday troubleshooting stuff, rebooting, pulling the power brick, all that stuff, you know, all the normal stuff. I even got to the point of, okay, I'm going to unplug the external drive. I'm going to try to install to the internal, into the internal. No, it doesn't work. It gives me the same error. I take a different external drive that I have on my PC. I plug it in. I set that as the default. Try to install to that. Nope, it still gives me the fail. So I'm like, finally, I get on with Xbox support through their chat window. Go through a bunch of stuff. They go through every step. Finally, they're like, well, our only next option is to reboot your router. And of course, that means I'm going to lose my connection to them on Xbox.com. So I go ahead and do it. They give me case number beforehand. So I do it. I put it back up. I get 2 items that install. And then it stops again. I'm like, what the heck is going on? This, because first of all, it shouldn't have anything to do with the router, because it's already pulling stuff. All my devices work. I'm able to download from Xbox games and the Xbox Store on the one. I just can't install them. It gets to 100% and then it says installation stopped every time. So I'm like, I'm convinced that it's the hardware now. So I thought it was the hard drive, but that obviously ruled it out. So I'm like, there's something wrong with my OS. And at one point during this whole 3-4 day ordeal, there was a message, something about you don't have any drive space. I'm like, yeah, I do. And so I'm like thinking, okay, that's why I figured there's something wrong with the drive. But no matter what I put in, it wouldn't do to drive. So I'm like, something must have gotten corrupted with all that stuff being queued up, just trashed the OS. And something must have gotten corrupted where it thought I didn't have any space to install at all. And that's why it was giving me these issues. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking, oh man, I got to send the Xbox back. This is not good. I'm going to be without my baby for a whole month or two. So I get back on the chat, get someone new, tell him the previous case, and we end up getting to the point. He has me do a few more tests. Everything looks good. And he's like, sorry, dude, but we're going to have to do a reset back to factory settings. I'm like, dude, I don't care if that works. I don't really care. So that's what I end up having to do after 4 days. Just reset that thing back. And bam, it magically worked. Everything starts downloading just fine, no problems.
You know what? It's cool that you can do that. That.
Oh yes, I was
refresh it like that. Because if you couldn't, you'd have to, it would be a factory process. Yeah.
So yes, I am grateful. I mean, it's like it was very frustrating, but I am convinced that the issue was with this DLC, because the system was fine until I started that download. Like the 360 would only allow you to download 6 items at a time, and that's it. That's all that could be queued up, and it did 1 at a time. Obviously, the Xbox One doesn't have a limit, and it should. And I think Tecmo made a big mistake by, if you're going to buy the season pass, and it's like they got like 2 season passes, okay? So there's one that has all this content, so I can buy everything that was available up to this point for a very large amount of money, right? That's that 200 and something pieces. It's the same stuff you could have got on the Xbox 360 in Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. Then they're going to release new content. It's a whole nother, it's like Season Pass Part 2, okay? And that stuff's going to come out between now and June. And there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out. They should have just said, if you're going to buy that big pack, it should have been 1 installation file, in my opinion. But instead, they did all these 235, and it's like, or 48 or whatever it was. It was almost 250, but it was less than that. And I believe that killed it. So just, if you're going to go that route and you're going to buy all that, be aware that if that happens to you and you run into that problem, you'll probably have to do a system reset. Hopefully it won't happen to you. I really, but that's been my experience of what happened. It could have been a fluke, just bad timing, but that many things to download at once is going to obviously cause a problem on the box. So, because when I saw it happening, I was just like, what is going on? This is insane. So, but anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to some cool stuff. And I think, Run, you've got the news.
Yes, sir, I do. So, all right. Here we go. For those who were worried about the recent Phantom Dust information that was released, Phil Spencer has come out with some good news for you. Microsoft is still committed to the reboot. He tweeted, "You obviously like the first studio for a project to work out. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So they are still committed to the reboot, just because that group's not doing it, or it may have looked like they didn't cancel it as far as the reboot is concerned. So Forza 6 may be hitting the road this holiday. Microsoft has confirmed that the game has been given a holiday 2015 release window. Next, Siri is listening to me talk. It has been 4 years since we have seen a Guitar Hero, but it looks like Activision might bring it back. 2 sources close to the franchise have confirmed it is in development.
Did you skip a story?
Did
you skip Forza?
No, Forza 6.
Sorry. Okay. I'm just behind.
Yep. I actually stopped. Let's talk about this Guitar Hero thing real quick. 2 sources say the franchise has confirmed it is in development. Now, is that it's been in development for 2 weeks because everybody was excited for Rock Band, so Activision's dollar signs are starting to go off, and they're jumping on the bandwagon. Zing. So, do you think Activision's had this in has had this in development for a while, and they're just now coming out with the news because Rock Band came out, or do you think they're trying to jump in on something because everybody was excited for Rock Band?
I think they've had it in development because word is it'll be out this year.
Oh, okay. Because my whole thought was like, man, Activision's out to ruin the franchise, ruin this whole genre again before we even get started. Because, the Guitar Hero will come out this year and next year and the year after and the year after that, and then everybody will be fed up, and by that time, only 1 or 2 Rock Bands will be out at the time. So, all right. Just curious what you thought on that. I just thought it was pretty interesting that all of a sudden Activision has, Guitar Hero coming out now. So, Neverwinter. Do you guys ever play that game?
The original one.
Never have.
On PC.
Okay.
Get it?
So, well, the fans of the franchise or the series or the game will be happy to hear that the game will be hitting Xbox One on March 31st. The launch will come with the base game and the Tyranny of Dragons expansion. So, that is pretty cool. And I believe that is free, by the way. So, Games with Gold for March starts today. I believe today is the 1st. Yes, it is. Xbox One will get Rayman Legends, which I think we all played. And the 360 will get Tomb Raider between the 1st and 15th, and BioShock Infinite between the 16th and 31st. It's amazing. It's just like the 360. Those are 2 awesome games for the 360.
It's a good month for 360.
Yeah, great month for 360. I will turn it back on. No, I won't. I looked at him like BioShock because I've been wanting to play that game forever, and here it is, and I'm just like, yeah, on to the new game. I got Titanfall. I got to catch Wing. So
you got 10 more days to catch up.
10? Jeez, sounds like 8 months. All right. So I know I was happy to hear that some poking around the Ubisoft website for The Division has turned up
hold on.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't there more details in there about Games for Gold for next month?
Oh, was there? I don't know.
There was.
Oh, let me look.
Because they were talking about, I don't think they didn't list for April, but they said the Xbox One's going to get 2 games. There's something special going to happen in April, and Xbox One is going to see extra free games, supposedly.
I did not see that in that article.
I thought that was in there. Maybe I posted the wrong one.
I just got the one from the site.
Okay. Sorry, man.
Okay.
Well, we may have good news in April. It's being talked about. There's something special coming. I can't remember why. I don't remember what. It was Major Nelson, I believe, that said it.
If I recall, it had to do with the fact that Games with Gold has been successful. So they're kind of doing it as a thank you, if I remember right. So it's going to be 4 games.
All I know, I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was pretty interesting that they stopped showing 2 games for Xbox One. Like when they announced the stuff for the Games with Gold or whatever, for Xbox One, they just show 1 game again.
Yeah, even though there's still get iDarp still for free.
Yeah, you can, but they're they make it say like, oh, these new games are coming. These are the new ones out for games
Right.
with gold. So they stopped showing, because I think they're just, people are getting fed up with saying, stop saying there's 2 games this month, because there's really only one. Everybody got that one last month. So, but all right. So
here's the thing on April.
okay, thank you.
Let's see. So they say, and if it's not amazing enough, there's one more big announcement since the program's launch at E3 2013. You've collectively downloaded over 100 million games with Games with Gold. And it's definitely clear to us that Xbox Live Gold members love the game, and Games with Gold fuels that passion. To commemorate this huge milestone, Xbox is giving you more of what you love with twice the free games in April. Next month, you can look forward to 4 free games on the 360 and 2 free games on the Xbox One. And they say it's not an April Fool's joke.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you. I forget where I was at. I think I was talking about The Division. Some people were poking around the websites and stuff, and back when, if you do some view source, you can see some things. It looks like they might have turned up the possibility of a public alpha. Much more is known. It's not official or anything, but that sounds awesome to me. I cannot wait for that game. The only thing I don't like is they're calling it a public alpha when the game was supposed to be like out originally, like what, this month or something. I think it was targeted, and it's been delayed, and then now they're doing an alpha, which is a little scary.
I don't think they've ever given a release date for The Division.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be early this year.
This was the surprise. Wasn't this the surprise from last year's E3? So we knew this was going to be a couple years.
It's always
I thought it was 2 years ago. I thought it was 2 years ago they announced it, and then last year they actually showed some gameplay of it. I can't remember.
Could be.
That's what they get for just showing things way too early. But all right. So let's see, where am I at?
But if we're getting an alpha, that means whether they call it an alpha or a beta,
Yeah.
it's still, at least we've got something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and I would jump into it because this is a game that I'm excited by, but my concern is what this game's going to really turn out to be. You know, I'm concerned it's going to be like another Destiny. And again, I'm not trying to trash Destiny. I got 150 hours in the darn game. But I don't want this to turn into be like a loot fest, or I mean, not a loot fest, a grind session where you're just grinding the same stuff over and over. If that's what the Division's going to be, I'm going to stay away from it. But if it's something else, that's what I'm curious to see. What exactly is it going to be? Because we really don't know. So
right, and the thing is I'll be happy to take part in the alpha, and I've actually started any of the alphas or betas I've been in. I've started actually reporting information that I find because I want this game to be good. I really want it to be good. They can take all the time they need. I'm just super excited for it. That's why I'm kind of like impatient, seem impatient. But games like Destiny and like this here, I've said it before, is like I think this is the new type of genre or game that people are going to want. This everlasting, always on type of, the world is yours, go unlock it, multiplayer, co-op, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see it. So
right,
but all right. Continuing on, 505 Games has announced that the Crime Wave edition of Payday 2 will launch in June for the PS4 and Xbox One. The edition includes the game, years worth of DLC and updates, along with the Big Bank Heist and Clover, which is the first female character. After getting some big sales on PC, Xbox Live, and PSN, the developers for Slender Man will be bringing Slender: The Arrival to next gen. Current gen, let's come on. I put this, they say next gen consoles. We are in current gen consoles, so you're bringing it to current gen. It is a digital only release, which will cost $10. Xbox owners will be able to play Battlefield Hardline for 10 hours before the release if you are a part of EA Access. The trial begins. The 5 days before the release, which is March 12th, and you'll be granted full access to multiplayer and the prologue and first chapter of the campaign. Unfortunately, the game will not work until 5 days later on the day of release. So that is the bad news. I'm just kidding. All progress will carry over if you choose to purchase it. So I've been waiting.
I laugh because you say it's going to work on the day of release.
No, I was saying that. I was saying that you guys getting it 5 days earlier.
No, I know,
I
know, I get that, but I'm also just saying it's not going to work on the day of release either. That's funny.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm an EA Access member, so I'll definitely be pulling this down. But I have no plans to buy this Battlefield game. Yeah. So I tried. I think 1 or 2 matches in the beta, and I just was like, nah, it's Battlefield. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just putting in cops and robbers doesn't change the game, in my opinion. So, and
I might grab EA Access and do that. I'm not buying the game on day one just because of the issues. I've already said that before. But I will own it. I did have fun during the beta of the game. So,
well, you bring up a very good point. If somebody is on the fence about Battlefield Hardline, and you're like, do I want to spend my $60? You could pay $5 for 1 month of EA Access and get access to this game and basically download it and play it. And you'll have 10 hours to decide if you like the game. If you don't know in 10 hours, then you'll know within a matter of an hour if you like the game or not, because it's the same thing, you know. But yeah, that's a good idea if you want to beta test it. I mean, yeah, you got to pay $5, but hey, you can get a bunch of other games for free as well while you're a member of EA Access. So
yeah, and Gunny is asking in here, and actually it's a good thing that he brought this up because I wanted to say this, but it's very confusing how they put this and the way I've read this before, because it always seemed like if you were an EA Access member and you pre-ordered the game, you would get to play it 5 days earlier. That's the way I always understood it. But here, the way this reads is the trial will begin for subscribers March 12th, 5 days before Battlefield Hardline's official release. The trial includes full access to the game's multiplayer as well as the prologue and the first chapter of the TV crime drama-inspired campaign. As always, progress made in the trial will carry over to the full game should you choose to purchase it. So when it says it that way, it is you can get it no matter what. So just like Mark said, pay the $5, you get that, and boom, you're good. Now, to me, I was going to do it anyways because you get all those EA games for free, you know, for that $30 a year. So to me, it makes complete sense. There's sports games that I know one of my kids likes to play sports games and stuff like that. The basketball game's in there now, and he would have fun playing it. So I may have to pick that up. So
yeah,
but that's that. So, yep. Cubicle Lake 7, is that right? Says you get the game early, you don't have to buy. So thank you. Yep. All right.
And that's why we're telling people you got to pay what we have to pay for is EA Access.
Right.
So let's make sure we are clarifying this because maybe we aren't clear. You do have to pay for EA Access. If you're not an EA Access member, then you can pay $5 for 1 month of that access, get Battlefield Hardline ahead of time, and pay $5 to try the game out. If you're on the fence and don't know if you want to spend your $60, it's a good way to try it. Plus, you can try a lot of other games that are now free in the vault. All of those would be free as well. And I say do the $30 a year. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of games in that vault now that are well worth that price. So,
and you also get percents off,
10% off. So if you are an EA Access member, you pay the $5 a month or $30 a year, which is the better deal. If I buy Battlefield Hardline, obviously digitally, you got to buy it digitally through the store. You get it for like $6 off. So you'll get it for $54, $53.99 or something.
Or if you're already paying the $5 for EA Access, you're getting EA Access free for a month. So it all works out. So, but yep, sounds good.
So, all right.
All right. More Hardline news, actually. Some details of Hardline's premium has been leaked. You will get 2-week early access to the expansion pack at a discount, and, as well as 12 additional battle packs and the exclusive camos and patches. It was also mentioned that there were more perks to be announced. I have not seen how much the premium is. And for some reason, I think it is $49. I think it's $50 for their premium.
Well, that's
it's
what
almost,
it was last time.
Yes. And I'm wondering if they're not smart enough to do that again, because I know most people, I've read stuff and everybody's like, I'm not buying premium. Have they lost their mind? They're like, I'll wait 3 months for when the first pack comes out and then I'll buy it for $20, you know. So yeah, I'm definitely not rushing out for buying the premium on that. So but okay. Forza Horizon 2 presents Fast and Furious at no charge for a limited time. Okay, so I was reading through this article. I was trying to sum things up, and there's just so much stuff into this article here that I'm kind of going to have to skim through it here, so bear with me. But Xbox and Universal partnership and licensing have announced an unprecedented partnership to bring a unique, interactive, and exclusive experience to millions of Xbox fans worldwide. Ugh, I could have skipped that whole line. Forza, driving the amazing cars of Forza and combining with the unstoppable Fast and Furious movie franchise to create an original adventure filled with high-speed automotive action, blah, 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 blah. If you don't own Forza Horizon 2, don't worry. This is a standalone open-world expansion. Forza Horizon 2 presents Fast and Furious, puts you behind the wheel of more than 11 iconic vehicles from the films, including some exciting new cars from the upcoming Furious 7. So what this is it's a standalone expansion. You don't need Forza Horizon 2. You can go and download this. It's just a standalone expansion, and like it says, you get those cars and stuff. It says to celebrate the April 3rd launch of Furious 7, the expansion will be available at no charge for a limited 2-week period. Players can download the expansion on Xbox One or Xbox 360 at no charge from March 27th to April 10th. After that, the expansion will cost $10. Players who download it during the initial 2-week window can continue to play with without restriction. So basically, download it between those 2 weeks, you get a free game. Or
Cool.
sorry, a free expansion. So that is pretty cool, actually. I kind of like that. So, and my kid is crying in the background. So, sorry if anybody can hear him crying. All right, so that's that. Let's see. Fable Legends. So, everybody, you guys like the Fable games, right?
They were okay.
Yeah, they're cool.
Okay.
I like
All
cooking
right.
chickens.
Yeah, of course. Get that gamer score for that. Fable Legends is the next one coming out. I think they showed it last E3. The news for this is that it's going to be free to play. So they were trying to figure out how they could get this game out to as many people as possible, and they said the easiest way is just make it free. So the game is completely free and entirely unlocked. You can play the game from start to finish without paying a cent. Also, all future updates and upgrades will be free. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully it's fun, because I just remember seeing a lot of players like on there. I think it's a very co-op type Fable game. So, but hey, that's cool. I'll try it for free. So
Yeah, it's a very risky move on their behalf, and I hope it pays off.
Yeah, because it also almost makes you think like, well, is the game not good then because now it's free? You know, because I think at first they were going out to get $60 for the game, but we'll see. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, there's a sorry to interrupt you again here.
No,
There's a pretty nice analysis of what they're doing with this. I'll post a video of it on the Facebook group. It's definitely worth a view if you're interested in Fable. It discusses kind of like what the studio has hoped to accomplish, and then kind of like the risks and so forth. So hopefully it works out, and maybe we'll get more companies trying something like this. But definitely check it out. I'll post it up there in a couple minutes. So if you're listening to this and you're not in the chat, it'll definitely be on the Facebook group by the time you hear this.
Okay. When do you guys check out possibly when that game's set to release? So Fable Legends, while I go through these last two.
Sure can.
Okay, thanks. Quick Surfer, I believe, asked when it was coming out. All right, so Reddit users. There's a couple guys at work. They love Reddit. I'm not a big Reddit person at all. Actually, I just started using it. I know that kind of sounds weird, me being like a developer or whatever. But Xbox support, as we know, heavily uses Twitter and other means of contact. But it looks like they will officially support Reddit coming soon. Operating hours will be Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The two agents who will monitor Reddit can be reached by typing /u/Xbox with a capital X _support capital S into the comment section of threads marked tech within the subreddit. So for all you Reddit users, I'm just expecting you know what they're talking about, because I have no idea. Finally, if anybody who is a Destiny player, like myself, and you use the companion app on your iPad, iPhone, Android devices, anything like that, you will see a very awesome update or feature that came out, which is it allows you to transfer your equipment from your player to your vault, and from the vault to another player. Or character, let's say, without having to go to the tower and going and logging out and doing this and switching that. It is fantastic. It makes everything so much easier. I have not actually tried to switch something like on the fly. So like if I'm in the middle of a strike or a raid, if I can transfer things across and all of a sudden now I have it, because that would be even better. But to me, it's just like maybe they should have just allow you to do it from the screens themselves. But hold on, sorry guys, I got family stuff real quick. Hi, what are you doing? You saying goodnight?
He heard about Fable Legends, so he's interested.
Ask him if he likes Rayman.
Do you like Rayman? Rayman? He's waving to himself.
He's just waving.
All right. Good night. Love you.
Ew.
So now he's looking at himself the whole time. So come on. Good night. He doesn't want to leave now. He's like staring at you guys. So there he goes. Bye.
All right. So is anything else on the Destiny app?
Not that I know of. That's like the huge thing.
It's nice they finally allow you to, with your hunter, getting a warlock rifle that you can actually give it to your helmet or whatever, that you can actually now give it to your other character.
Well,
so
it's not exactly that. It's not going to be,
I read that you could give them to other characters, your gear to other characters that you own.
Well, only certain things. So like a warlock helmet is really only for a warlock. You can't put that on a titan.
No, but if you are playing as a titan and
right.
you get a warlock helmet, it does your titan no good. So now you can give that to your warlock, right?
Yeah, you could always do that. But the thing is like you had to go to the tower, go to the little
was that your stash or whatever? Yeah, the ATM.
Yeah, your ATM thing, and then you got to switch it, put it on there. So what's cool is that what took me forever to figure out is how do I on the app switch my characters. So if you go to
there's a training session going on.
Yeah, so here I have my warlock up, my 31 warlock, and if you go to
level dropping, level dropping.
Forget if it's legend. Oh my gosh! See, now I forget. Yeah, you have to do the top slider, and you actually have to click on your name at the very top, and that gives you a list. I know it's hard to see because I'm getting a reflection, but that gives you a list of your characters, which then you can switch the character and go and flip the stuff over. So I know that was the one thing. I was like, because I was flipping things back and forth, switching my shotguns and stuff. But yeah, that's a super awesome feature. I really like it because, you know, there's sometimes we have to wait on people like, hold on, I got to go get my plan C off, you know, off to my other character. So they have to log out, log in, put it in the stash, log out, log in, grab it from the stash. But now they can just go to the phone and flip it through, and all of a sudden, boom, they got it, and it's pretty awesome.
Cool. All right.
All right. Yep.
Time to go to the round table. Time to duke it out. Ooh, poof, psh. Because this week we're gonna stray a little bit on our first topic. A little bit. Still pertains in a way. It's still, but wanted to talk about the net neutrality decision that came out this week. And I'm gonna be honest. All the time that this thing has ever been out, and what little I have read about it, never made any sense to me. Rob, I think you're probably, I know Brun is as well. I talked to him earlier. Rob, you're probably a bit more versed on this than I am. So I'm curious what you guys think about the net neutrality passing this week. Do you care? Do you not care?
Yep. Brun, you
No
want
big
to
deal.
start off?
Sure, I guess I can. Well, a couple things I've been following with net neutrality is obviously you see a lot of the things like, you know, Comcast is charging Netflix, you know, $2 million for priority streaming and stuff like that. Like things like that can happen, or like Facebook. Comcast could charge Facebook, like, oh, you want your Facebook pictures to show up faster on Comcast, you know, on this place than anywhere else. They can start doing things. It's basically like those cable companies holding other internet, you know, websites and stuff hostage. You know, that's stuff that can happen when you don't have, like, if you vote against the net neutrality. I don't know if a lot of that stuff was included in these rules, because this was more the FCC actually making broadband internet access based as a utility, and they also upped the minimum requirements. So here in the United States, which this is pretty funny, the minimum requirements I think was like 5 down,
4. There's something.
Yeah, 4 down and like 512 up or something. Like not even a meg up. It was like half of a meg up or something like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was the minimum requirements. Now the minimum requirements are like 20 down,
25,
25,
25, yeah.
Yeah, and 5 up or something like that, which is huge. That's huge. So any company that wants to claim, now that doesn't mean companies have to upgrade all their stuff. It's just if they claim that they have high-speed internet access, or they're giving you high-speed internet access, that's what the minimum has to be. And I hopefully most of the places will be like, okay, we'll make that our minimum, and then all of a sudden I'm paying for 30 down, 5 up, I think is what I pay for. Hopefully my 30 down, 5 up turns into 100 down, 10 up or something like that, and I don't have to pay anymore. That's what I would really like to see, but I doubt it because it's Time Warner. But the other thing it does is it makes it as a utility. So places like Comcast and Time Warner and AT&T, I think those are the ones that own like a majority of the broadband backbone, like all of the fiber cable that's running underground, like throughout the U.S. I'm not exactly sure. Rob has an SBC hat on, so maybe he knows more about that. But every internet access, you know, that you have, whatever the company is, if it's not one of those big 3, in some way, I think some of the money is filtering to them because they're using their lines. They're using that to, you know, provide internet access. Now, this FCC ruling and making it a utility means that anybody can put any cabling on the pool or telephone pool or anything that you want to think of it that way. So what it does is it opens up the ability for all these small internet companies or ISPs or something to run their own wiring and not have to rely on the big ones to grant them access or go through all these, steps to and regulations or whatever to get it. It kind of makes it more open for a free market. So that's why a lot of people are like, vote for net neutrality, vote for it, yes, 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 yes. And then what you have is you have a lot of people saying, no, don't vote for it, don't vote for it. It's just going to let the government monitor and blah, 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 that type of thing. So what you have is it's funny when you read about it, because it's like, oh, the Democrats want it and the Republicans don't, and it's stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, I'm a Republican and I want it, so don't say it that way. But really what it is the Republican look at the lobbyists, let's say, for the cable companies. They were going hard and heavy after the Republican, party and stuff like that, and probably offered them so much money that's why they're voting for it. So, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, the bad news about the bad thing that people are worried about or saying don't vote for it, I think, is for the whole FCC/government stepping in and saying that they're going to be able to regulate or,
tax.
I don't know if you can tax it any more than what it's already taxed, because the government.
Have you looked at a phone bill recently?
Well, that's what I mean. The government already taxes, the cable companies and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how much more we can be taxed. I mean,
they'll find a way. This is
that's why
this is another way of getting you. I mean, that's
that's why they're probably saying the Democrats want it so much, is so they can tax you on it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's really weird. It's like there's parts of it that I like, and then there's parts of it I don't like.
As with anything else.
Right. And what I don't like seems to be more of the unknowns of the potential of things mainly just being taxed. The government wants to regulate it, but are behind on technology, and anything they touch goes south. I mean, they can't run anything successfully. They do not have a successful program anywhere in the government. And that's why I fear that them getting their hands in this could only make things worse. Do I fear, and it's going to cost us more? I think it'll cost us more because the government's getting involved. I don't really think that they really saved us when they, took down AT&T originally. I don't think it really saved us any money on our phone bills. I didn't see anything. I don't recall that drastically changing. And it was interesting. I read an article, excuse me, on CNET, and it was basically titled 7 Things That This Will Not Do. And I'm just going to give you the headers. They said that this will not make your home broadband connection any faster, which is really what all the consumers want. They said this will not eliminate our wireless data cap, which would be nice. It says it won't stop the wireless carrier from throttling your service when you reached your data cap. This will not create competition. And there's reasons why. I don't want to go through all this. Right. I'll post the link into the chat window for our Twitch fan subscriber viewers to go and look at it on their own. But they talk about each one of these, and they give you a bottom line of why they're saying this. And I found that a very interesting read. But so it won't create competition. It's not going to improve our Friday night viewing of Netflix or Xbox Video or whatever, Amazon Prime Instant or whatever you're watching, Hulu. This won't stop the Comcast Time Warner cable merger. And there's a big question on what's actually going to change as a result of these new rules. That's the big question, and they're saying nothing. So.
It benefits the corporations to some degree. I mean, depending on what side you're on.
Not all of them, because it doesn't benefit AT&T and Comcast. Right.
But it benefits companies, let's say, like Netflix, who were in danger of having their traffic, let's say, rate limited or whatnot. Because they were paying Comcast, or they had some special kind of hookup with Comcast just to get their stuff through, just to get special treatment. The ultimate goal of net neutrality was to basically have everything treated the same.
And
Right.
but see, that's the thing too. So it's not going to help your Netflix viewing, and they talk about that
Right.
because
Yep.
now Netflix. So ISP says, "Hey, Netflix, if you like your stuff, we can leave you out there in the pool and put you on that traffic jam of an interstate that we have, okay? Or we can put you over in here in the carpool lane, and your data's going to fly a lot faster, but we're gonna charge you for that. We're gonna give you, we're gonna put you in the carpool lane, okay?"
Right.
And they said, we don't want to pay more for that, so their data is going to be back into the regular interstate where everybody's jam-packed, and it would actually slow it down, if anything, because now they're not going to have any special treatment of it. You're going to be in with everybody else. You're going to be treated the same.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to improve your streaming quality, if you will. And that's one of the things they're saying. It's not going to improve that. This
Right.
Netflix, it's a win for Netflix that they don't have to pay for that. And the ISPs can't throttle them trying to get them to pay for the improved. But it's not going to help the consumer. That's the thing. On the endpoint, us, we're still going to be going, oh, got a buffer. Or you're going to
And
get
you know what?
downgraded to SD.
And
stream.
when people see that, their first instinct is Netflix sucks.
Yep.
Netflix isn't working good today. They do not think at all about it's Comcast or whatever company.
Right.
They blame the who they see on the screen, even though they're at the mercy of who your carrier is.
Right. Exactly. So that's the thing. And I think when these guys come down to it, it really is not going to change much
Yeah.
from what we see today.
Although there was one funny thing about this whole net neutrality thing, and that was Verizon's response. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
No.
Verizon responded in Morse code because this whole net neutrality thing is about some law from 1934. So basically, that was kind of like Verizon's little dig, kind of saying that we're going backwards by having this. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if CNET is saying all those things, the stuff that it's not going to do, I mean, that's what I've always heard of net neutrality stuff. So maybe they're just using that term for this whole FCC and as far as making it a utility. But at that point, then what else does it do? Because when I was reading the stuff about making it a utility, is that'll allow people to jump into the market of broadband, offering broadband. And to me, that creates competition. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things we'll have to see. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, unfortunately, it would be really crappy if nothing changed, but yet our bills go up, another $20 because we're paying more in taxes and stuff. And at that point, it's just,
Yeah, I think
just one more way that something got snuck in under the, idea of something else. The government piggybacking off things that everybody knows is a hot topic, which is net neutrality, and that we all want it because we want a wide open internet. And why not jump on to the all these people wanting this that are voters and wanting their support, than to say, hey, this is for net neutrality, and all of a sudden it's just not for you to sneak it in. But that's just government. It doesn't matter what side of government you're on, that's just government. They all do that. So, I mean, and it's just a dirty move, so.
Oh. Alrighty. Well,
All right.
any last thoughts on that, either of you?
No.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see over the next couple weeks, because I'm sure the analysis of what's going to happen with this is just beginning now that the vote is passed. So
All right.
we'll see what's going on.
All right, so now I wanted to talk about this one, digital or physical, and I thought this was a really good time for us to address this because the Xbox One has been out for over a year now. I have decided to go all digital. I think, Rob, you're a mix, correct, of both?
Yes.
And Run, are you doing all digital on your Xbox One?
Yep.
All
All
right.
digital.
Okay, so What sparked this was in our community, in our Facebook group this week, I saw that someone made a comment about, for all you digital people, I wish you luck. And I'm like, wish us luck for what? I'm like, it just didn't make any sense to me. And I thought about it, and I'm just like, you know, personally, I really have liked that I've gone digital. I don't miss the physical copies. Yeah, it's nice to have them on the shelf, but I'm the only one in my office. I'm the only one that sees it. It's not like, unless I take a picture and put it on Facebook, hey, look at all the money I spent. You know, it doesn't do me anything. I don't get a cookie. I don't get an award for it. It's like, you know, it doesn't benefit me anything to have it sitting here. And also, in this Xbox One world, and probably the PlayStation 4 is probably, I would expect to be very similar, nowadays everything's relying on the cloud, everything's relying on the internet connections, and you're making, you know, you still need to have that connection to the internet to play them. The physical copies still require to be installed, so you don't save on hard drive space. You have to have the disc in to play it, which I like that I can just switch a game. In fact, I think, Brun, you said something to me today about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I was playing Dying Light, and he's like, hey, he sends me a Titanfall, you know, so I'm like, oh, okay, accept it. Bam, it immediately switched, and I'm playing Titanfall. I didn't have to stop, quit the game, go find the disc on the shelf, put it in. You know, yeah, I'm fat and lazy, but it just, you know, it makes more sense. Why do I have to do that? So, but, you know, we know all those types of things, but the whole point of what I kind of thought of was that regardless of whether you're digital or physical, whether you got a physical copy, we're still relying on servers. Like, you cannot play Destiny. All those that have a physical copy of that, the game is as useless to you if the server's down, if Xbox Live is down, whatever. You still can't play it. So what's it matter at this point? And everything's moving into the cloud. I'll bet you that the Division is, I'm expecting this to be very much like a Destiny type of game. It's like the more I hear about it, I'm a little concerned. So we'll see what happens. But I was just curious what your guys' thoughts. Well, let me finish. Lastly, I've been over a year of digital only. I don't regret it. I love it. Rob, what do you think? You've used both.
Right. Well, with the physical games, the physical disc games, I primarily go to them just because they're cheaper. At least they were before all these sales started. I would prefer to have digital. I really hate switching out discs and looking for the disc. It's like, hey, I want to play this. Where is the disc? Because I have a pretty bad habit of just putting discs anywhere and everywhere. And then they get scratched up and so forth. All that goes out the window when you do digital. And although when it comes down to it, if I want something very early on, and if I'm going to find it for $25 on a disc versus $60 on digital, I'm probably going to get the $25 because that's just the way that I am. I'll deal with swapping the disc for a short time, and I'll play my game. Although I've left Wolfenstein in my Xbox now for, I don't know, for months, because it's pretty much like the only digital game that I ever really play anymore. I mean, not digital, physical that I play anymore. But I really wish that things had been like how Microsoft originally planned them. You know, we've talked about it before, where their whole sharing business and all did seem to be superior as to what we actually got after everybody complained about it all. And I think a lot of the people that were complaining about it, if they did actually purchase an Xbox One, I'm sure a lot of them didn't, but if they actually did purchase an Xbox One and they saw the benefits of digital only, that you know, I'm sure right now all those people would be digital only, and that the complaints were misguided to a degree. Because I don't know about you, Mark, because I know you've got a ton of games. Do you miss being able to trade them in?
No,
I mean, when was the last time you even went into a GameStop?
I've got a
You don't need
bazillion
to.
360 games here. I actually thought I should take all these 360 games in. I should turn my 360 in because I don't play it anymore. I don't. I don't buy anything on it. I don't look for. I'm done with it. The only thing I bought was since my X1 came out was the Borderlands game, which the prequel, which
Prequel.
I hated,
Sequel.
and the XCOM game, which was awesome. The second XCOM game. But I simply don't boot my 360 up anymore. I don't use it. I really don't even know why I have it hooked up upstairs anymore. I should just give it to my kids and put it downstairs on the new TV down there and just let them have it. They'll love it. They can play their Skylanders games. They never play because I took it away because they abuse the discs. You know, they scratch them all up. But I should just say, you know what? Take all these characters, put them in a bucket downstairs, and put your games. Just clear off my shelf space. It just takes up shelf space. And you know, now when I move, I got like 100 Xbox 360 games. So what am I going to do with these? You know, so I don't regret going digital. I really don't. It's I've really enjoyed the ease of use with it, and just I don't have to go to GameStop, Best Buy. I don't have to wait on the Amazon guy or the UPS guy to show up with my Amazon delivery. You know,
That's so funny.
I buy it ahead of time, and I can play it like you know it comes out at midnight, but that's midnight Eastern time. So for me right now, that's 10 p.m. at night. So that Monday night before it releases, I can already start playing, you know? It's installed, ready to go on the day it's released. So, I like that.
I mean, and just the fact that you can get a game, like you can, let's say, queue up a game from work at, you know, on your cell phone or like during your lunch break, and you get home and it's there. It's there, it's installed, and it's ready to play. I mean, that's so cool. And it's not sci-fi. It's here today.
So, what about you, Bron?
Well, I just when I took my Xbox 360 games and kind of went through them all, you know, I have like all the Halos, all the you know, a bunch of the trilogies and like groups of games,
Mass Effect.
yeah, Mass Effect, Gears. Like I have all of those games, and I was just like, let me see what they would be if I would trade them in. You know, maybe to help me get some stuff and kind of clear out what I was, you know, what I have just sitting up my drawer. And it was like, you know, 10 cents for this one, 25 cents for this one. I was just like, never mind, I'll keep them. You know, it was just like that. So it's just like at that point, I was just like, this would be so much easier if they were just all digital. I wouldn't have any problem. Like right now, they're just sitting in drawers, taking up space. I'd rather have them digital. You know, or send them to some of the people in our. Maybe I'll send them to the people in our group that want them for their collections or something, or things like that. I'd rather give them to somebody than to give them to
GameStop for 50 cents.
GameStop for 25 cents. Yeah, it's just ridiculous to do something like that. But you know, I love the quick switching. I just love being digital. Now, to me, having it physical, and this is my opinion, there is no reason to have a physical game unless a couple things. You are a collector. You like to have them on yourself. I mean, that's your personal, you know, your personal thought. That's the way you like, you know, you like to have it. To me, I don't have that. I don't have the room for it, so I go digital.
Like our buddy Jason. He's got what, 5,000?
Yeah.
Over 5,000 games, I think. So, yeah, he hates the digital, and I understand that, and I do feel I feel for him who loves that collection and hunting those old games and displaying them. I get that point, but for like the people like me or the normal Joe, if you will, who's not a collector, I don't see the point. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, and I mean it's just. You know, that to me is the only one that makes sense. As far as the ones for people that trade in games, if you're going to go pay to get any money back for a game, you know, you have to pretty much hand it back in within the week. You know, and you'll probably lose about $20 on it, this or that. But the thing at that point is,
It drops almost half.
Yeah, go rent a game if you're going to beat it like that. If you're going to do that, like the Order 1886, people that spent $60 on that game, you could have spent $5 at a movie store and rented it, and played and beat the game. Now, basically, you could either have it for your collection or you can trade it in for $40. You know, and either or, you're you lose money if you trade it in at that point.
Right.
So I just don't see the thing about the trading. Now, if you want to loan the games out, that's the other thing I was going to say. It's like if you have friends at work or whatever and you want to pass the game around at work, kind of like that joking thing about Sony. Here's how we share games, and they hand it off the person next to you. But, that's completely fine. But
you know what though?
What?
So Brun, I'm gonna let you borrow my Mass Effect 3 game.
Great.
Oh, darn
Ship it right over.
I'll ship it over. You'll have it in a week. Hopefully the mail won't destroy it. And then when you get it and you're playing and you're like, hey, Mark, this has multiplayer. Oh, you can't play because you have my game.
Yeah.
But in the digital world, I say, hey, Braun, I'm going to share it with you. You play it. We both play the same game at the same time, and we didn't have to ship it to anyone.
Right.
I've done that with a friend on the sharing, the Xbox sharing through the Xbox One. We both play. He buys a game, I get to play it. We can both play the same time in the game, both earn achievements, vice versa. It's awesome. I didn't have to run to his house and give him a disc, and then guess what? I can't play because I don't have the disc anymore.
Right.
It's just to me the digital concept makes so much more sense. It can be cheaper for us too. People are complaining how expensive how expensive games are. Go digital and share. I know there's a lot of people in our community that do this within their family. They're a bunch of gamers, and they'll take turns buying the game and they share it all amongst themselves digitally, and they can all play together.
Yeah, in features like that, when they come out, that's going to get people to switch over. And honestly, games are going to move to digital. It's just the way it is. Maybe we can do something. We have the buddy working on a website for game collections and stuff like that. He's still working on it. I mean, he's been coding on it for over a year. It's just games are going to go that way. We might have to find another way to show off your collection of what you have. Then the other thing is like Smoke Jumper 86 is in here. He's talking about like games will just eventually be streamed. And what I think is you'll probably install a small client on your on your Xbox or whatever, and things will exist and run in the cloud as much as possible. And if you don't realize, things like that happen now on the Xbox One. Certain things in games are running in their cloud service.
Titanfall was one of the big things about Titanfall.
Yeah.
It was the first game that completely made use of the Microsoft Azure. Is that how you say it?
Azure, yep.
Azure. So, that is a very cloud-based game, and it runs great. I mean, I really have had very little problems, and and what's nice about it is it really does kind of help make an equal footing in a multiplayer game, because if it's a game is peer-based, then it's like, someone's hosting it on their box, they have no lag and everybody else is lagging because they got to connect through the internet. So when everybody's in the cloud, that helps equalize that. Not one person has host advantage anymore, and it can affect everybody's connection. Hopefully is the same or roughly the same, but it just puts it more on an equal footing, and I like it. The game is run great.
Yeah, it's just, I just think it's going that way. I do, like, we do have, like you said, people in here. I feel bad that eventually it's going to end up that way. But as far as what I get from a digital game versus a physical game, the quick switching, just having it all there. Like I went to a gaming night over at Nighthawk 70s, and there was 3 or 4 of us over there. I took my Xbox. I was carrying my Xbox. I was like, hey Steve, can you grab all my games? And he kind of looks at me funny, like making it seem like he had to go back to my car and get all my games out of my car. And I was like, oh, that's right, they're all in this box right here, things like that. And and it's actually, there was articles out there. It's like, hey, more digital. These things are huge. 500 gigs is just not enough.
Right.
You know, and that's when you see a lot of people like yourself going and getting those external USB 3.0 drives. You can get 16 gigs per drive, and you can hook 2 of those drives up to your Xbox One. You can have terabyte, 16 terabytes. You can have 32 terabytes of space hooked up to an Xbox One. I think you're going to be okay. So, yeah. So, that's all I had on it.
Alrighty. Any last things, Rob?
Nope. I'm good.
Alrighty. Last roundtable item. Brun, I know you were geared up for this one.
Yes.
Why IGN ran a story of why people buy new consoles. And here I thought it was just because they were available, they were for sale. That's what I thought why I bought one. But guess not. So why do we, Brun, buy new consoles?
Well, okay. I have to put my head in my hand on this one, because when I first read this, and I'm not just, okay, let me start off by saying, like, most of these answers by the Xbox and the PS people, in my mind, are both kind of just, like, ridiculous to a point. It seems like what they did is they went and, whoever did this survey, went and asked people that are not gamers. You know what I mean? It's just like, do you own a PS4? Oh, yes, I do own a PS4. Well, why did you buy it? You know what I mean? And they're just like, PS4, is that what I watch my movies? It's like one of those, is that what I watch my movies on? You know, it's like one of those things. But so here are the answers. If you were to buy a PS4 over an Xbox One, your number one reason, based on the people that they surveyed, is resolution. So what I'm picturing here is the whole thing of, I think Sony, or not Sony fanboys saying, hey, all our games are 1080p, and Xbox, your guys' games aren't 1080p. You're 720, or you're 900, or you're this, or you're that. Completely false. It's completely false. Not all games are 1080p on the PS4.
What?
Yes, and there are some 1080p.
Lies! Sony says so.
Yes. Yeah. So, and there are games on the Xbox One that are 1080p. So
lies!
Are you just going to do this to me the whole time?
I might.
Okay.
You know we're only a 900p system. Come on.
So
lies.
Let's take the latest game, first party exclusive game built for the PS4, The Order 1886. If you have watched any videos on that game, the game looks amazing. Amazing.
Oh, no, wait. You're
It
right
does.
there.
That is not lying.
I know.
That game looks amazing. Would you believe that it is not 1080p?
No, I would.
But it has to be.
Or let
It
me
has
ask
to be. It's on a PlayStation.
Is it 1080p? Let me ask you that. Do you know if it's 1080p?
Yes, it's 1080p. It's PS4, so it's all 1080p.
Yeah, it's not. So
lie.
Yeah, it's not even 1080p. So, but the game looks amazing. But the thing is who cares? I don't care. You know, the game looks great. Now, you know, to some of the reasons why it may not be that is it's so graphically intense and nice and beautiful that they had to knock it down a little bit to, you know, allow the rest of the game to run. You know, I mean, there's you suffer in one way or the other if you're going to make a beautiful game run 1080p 60 frames a second. If you're going to do that, you're going to limit in a bunch of other ways. But they're number one. PS4, people buy PS4. Number one, resolution. Number two, Blu-ray player. So people bought the PS4 over the Xbox One because it has a Blu-ray player. Do you guys know that the Xbox One has a Blu-ray player? Yes.
Lie!
Doesn't it have HD DVD?
No, it does not have HD DVD. It has a Blu-ray player. So,
you know you're confusing people because Fair Power says, I don't know what the truth is anymore.
so yes. So their number 2 is Blu-ray player. Now, the Xbox One has Blu-ray player. Remember this for these two right here because I'll come back to the point. Number 3, their game library. Could be completely true. PlayStation does have a lot of games. They have great games that are both multi-platform, and they have great games that are first party. You have Uncharted as first party. You have Second, what's Second Son?
Second Son. Yeah, it's
Yes.
yeah.
Help
The
me
dude
out,
with the
people.
power
You know
and
what
the
I'm
lightning
talking
bolts and
about. You got Little Big Planet.
we don't
You
play
have
that.
yeah,
They got that
Yep.
racing game, Gran Turismo,
yes, Gran Turismo and stuff like that. So they do have great first
Killzone,
party. Yep, Killzone. That's another good one.
Last of
You know,
Us.
So Last of Us.
God of
yep.
War.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Keep going. No.
No. Lies!
So they have a that is number 3. I'm very surprised that's number 3. I figured that might be up there a little bit higher. Number 4. Remember this one because I want to come back to this one.
Infamous. Infamous.
Thank you.
Right.
Infamous.
Thank you, Hawk.
Number 4. Faster processing power.
Lies! And that one is... I am right on that one.
Very strange on faster processing power because if you actually go and I think look up the information
They're
about
identical.
about the CPU and everything, the Xbox One and the PS4 have the same chip.
Which is funny because you can look it up on IGN, their comparison chart, and it shows you it's the same.
There are slight modifications to each.
Well, yes, of course.
Yes. So, but it is the same chip. I believe it's made by AMD. Great company, by the way. So faster processing power. Now, they may
sorry.
go. Maybe their faster processing power that they're talking about is more on the DDR5 versus the DDR3 memory. I don't know. But continuing, number 5, why you buy a PS4 over Xbox One? It's what the family wants. So that's what the family wants. So now let's move to the next one. Reasons why to buy an Xbox One over a PlayStation. Brand. Now, let's talk about brand. Don't talk about the company because Microsoft and Sony are kind of out on this one. We're talking brand. So we're talking PlayStation versus Xbox. A lot of people buy the Xbox because of its brand. Okay, a little surprising that that's number 1. And the only reason why I say it is because 3 red lights. It's owned. I guess I said Microsoft's out of the question, but it's owned by Microsoft. Things like that, and then you have PlayStation, which is a very dominant gaming brand for many more years than Xbox itself. So, but their number 1 is brand.
I mean,
number 2.
I don't know if that makes sense because, I mean, is it Xbox the brand or is it Microsoft the brand? Because to me, PlayStation is just as strong a brand. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. PlayStation is a great brand. I'm just surprised that people would say, "Oh, I bought it because it's Xbox." I don't know.
I think that's true.
Okay.
I think Xbox is a very strong brand.
Yeah.
In and of itself. I mean, I mean, there was talk about back. Was it Satya Nadella, whatever his name is, was talking before he came on board about possible, selling off the Xbox brand because they could make a ton of money off of it, or splitting it off in its own company. I mean, it's I've heard rumors of Sony doing the same.
I think that'd be great for them if they would break off of there.
But I mean, I think Xbox and PlayStation both are great big time name brands that are very profitable. So
I'm just surprised it's the number 1. That's all I'm saying on that. Because the number 2 is the one thing. If you asked me, this would be in my top 3, and that is innovative features. Xbox, in my mind, are the only company, the only gaming console that is reaching out and doing innovative features. Unfortunately, most of those features got ripped out because another company who was not doing innovative features decided to poke fun and
made fun of the future,
make fun of them for it, and set us back a couple years. But innovative features is number 2 for Microsoft, and that one I believe. So number 3, faster processing power. So both companies or both people said, it's number 4 for PS4, it's number 3 for Xbox. Again, same chip. Don't know how that came across. Exclusive games and content. This comes up the same thing like game library for number 3. Up there, you got Halo, you got Forza, things like so on and so forth. And number 5, this is an interesting fun factor, which I think that's great. Fun factor. So let me talk about one of the ones that I think's missing out of the Xbox One. Is there is no mention of online services in either one of the lists. Nobody mentions PSN and nobody mentions Xbox Live. I think Xbox Live is a massive, seller to the Xbox brand. Maybe the Xbox Live is wrapped up into the brand and the number 1. Maybe, I don't know. But Xbox Live should be a huge seller on their console.
Agreed.
So,
the fact that it's not in this list makes me think that the majority of people that responded are not as informed.
Right. Well, that's coming to the whole thing of this whole article. Right. When I said we got to talk about this, because I think, and I think it was actually Mark posted. I actually have our Facebook thing.
Oh, says, you're gonna get me in trouble. I know what's coming. I said something about people being stupid.
I guess that goes to prove how stupid some people are. They make buying decisions without knowing the facts. Maybe you put it a little more harsh than what I would have put it. But I can, and somebody came back and said they disagree, which is fine. But actually, I kind of agree that this list here just kind of shows that the people they were asking, they just don't know. They don't know anything.
See,
they know pieces and parts. They know, it's got great games and stuff like that. But if your number 1 is resolution and Blu-ray player, and then both people are answering faster processing power, you just don't know. But you don't have to be as informed as we are,
but I can understand. Sorry, no, I apologize. Yeah. I interrupted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. It's just I don't want to say they're stupid. They're just not informed. They just don't know. It's like they're blurting out an answer that their nephew told them or something they read on the internet, and that's the problem. Resolution. That the reason why people said resolution is because they went on to IGN after E3 and was like, "Can you believe that Sony's going to be 1080p and Xbox can't even do it?" And they're like, "Well, I'm buying a PS4 because of resolution." They don't. And most of those people don't even know what resolution means. Yeah, and it's got better RAM. Oh, it's faster processing power because it's got better RAM. Or it could be like gaming library could be. Oh, they're giving away free games at the launch. They're giving this as a Drive Club. What was the one they were giving away?
Yeah, Drive Club Prologue.
They're giving away Drive Club to all PSN members, or they said they were going to give away Drive Club to all PS members. It still hasn't came out for them, but they're going to get it. Just things like that, and the things that were missing, like Xbox Live. Nobody mentions that's where my friends are. Yeah. That's where my community is Xbox. That's why I bought an Xbox. You know what I mean? So that's where my friends are. It's what I had previously, which is a completely valid answer. I owned a PS3. I own a PS4. I owned an Xbox 360. I own an Xbox One. Answers like that, at least to me, would say they're just sticking with what they know. They're just sticking with what they like and who they, support. But so the answers that are here are just like, these people have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're talking about. It's just things like this. When I read things like this, it's ridiculous. And then obviously you scroll down in the comments on that site, and it's just like, case closed, Xbox wins because Sony's number 1 and number 2 are resolution and Blu-ray player. You know what I mean? It's like, no, Xbox doesn't win because this website went and asked people that have no idea what they're talking about.
I do wish the Xbox One had a Blu-ray player in it, though. Gosh darn it.
Hey, Wing, it does.
What? Why?
Yes, it does. Believe it or not.
What about the HD DVD?
Yeah, it died a long time ago. The thing is, I hate to rant about it, but it's just, I just find it super interesting that these are the reasons why. And neither one of these groups actually speak to the true and to me, like a real gamer, what a real gamer would answer when they picked one of these two consoles. Because to me, there isn't a wrong answer. I know we're Xbox related, but we're all gamers.
Right.
Tell me, am I supposed to hate, Hawk or Fair Power or Smoke Jumper or whatever because one owns a PS4 and doesn't have an Xbox One? Am I not you're not a gamer because you don't own what I own? It's things like that. It just drives me nuts. So, and it's getting me more and more, frustrating me more and more because I don't know. It just gets to me. It just a lot of stupidity is what I. You did say it right.
You just said the word.
Ignorance.
You said the S word.
Ignorance.
You just said stupidity.
I know. Okay,
so I got to cut you off now.
Okay.
Because I got to go back to that stupidity thing. You gave me an opening. I said people are stupid. I'm going to stick to that. And what I mean is stupid in the act. Okay, maybe not that they are themselves stupid. I do a lot of stupid things. Okay, but I'm not a stupid person. But when you are going to buy, you're going to spend, we'll say $500, okay? You're going to spend a chunk of change, whether it's $400 or $500. You're going to spend a bunch of money on an Xbox or on a console. You should look up what the Wii U, what the PS4, what the Xbox One is by going to their websites and looking at the specs and take 5 minutes to see what each one has. And not go to IGN or some very biased website that isn't going to give you the truth. Go to the company site and look at the specs and compare them. You could even have gone to IGN and look at the spec sheet that they have because it was real and see what the truth is, what each one has and what doesn't. You could have gone to one website and looked at that spec sheet and saw that the processing was the same and all that stuff, that both had Blu-ray players, and that's why I say it was stupid. That's why I say stupid people, because they can't even go and look up one chart on the internet to see what it has. Instead, they go and they buy something going, well, I bought this because it has a Blu-ray player. Well, the other one does too. I'm sorry, they're an idiot for that. It'd be like, oh, what do you mean it'd be like buying a Prius and wanting to go out and race it. Well, dummy, don't you know what a Prius is? It's just like, that would be a stupid person. So, or, that case, that'd be a stupid person buying a Prius wanting to race it. But, that's it. I'm not trying to put anybody down on there, but I think it was a stupid decision or a very uninformed, and they should have taken just a couple of minutes to search the internet.
Right. One other reason, and so clear your mind for a second. Both do 1080p, okay? Both have Blu-ray player. Both have great game libraries. Both have great processing power. They have online features. They can talk to your friends and everything like that. Not anywhere in this list is one of the reasons where I was just like, well, nobody. What's the one reason that's missing on here? That you figured would be up there, definitely for buying a PS4 over an Xbox One.
Cost.
Yeah. Nobody mentioned the bombshell, the reason why PlayStation destroyed or Sony destroyed Microsoft at E3. They came in $100 underneath the price of the Xbox One. Not one, as it mentioned there. The resolution is their number one. Not one. If they would have said cost is number one, I would have been like, exactly.
You want to know? Here's the plain and simple truth. Every single thing in this world comes down to money.
Exactly.
Okay? The excuses, the reasons why somebody bought one, number one, it's always money. Okay, well, I won't say 99% of the people out there are going to buy something based on money. Okay, maybe your wife won't let you get the extra $100 to buy the Xbox One, so you went with the PS4. You got kids going to college. You got this, you get whatever. The money, you're like, I can get a next-gen console. This one's $100 cheaper. Bam. A bunch of people bought it for that simple fact. The reasons of, well, it's better resolution, it's this, it's got that, it's got that. Those are the excuses now to make yourself feel better about your purchase. Okay? I don't need to make myself feel better about purchasing Xbox One. I can tell you right now, I have swore and cursed and threatened to throw my Xbox One off my roof in the last 4 days, more times in the last 4 days than I have in a year. I still love the dumb thing, you know? Doesn't mean I won't have moments where I hate it and want to put my fist through it because it doesn't work or it won't do what it's supposed to. But that's technology, you know? I mean, I bought it because loyalty to the brand. I loved Xbox Live. That's where my friends were. You know, I didn't care about the money. I'm one of the 1%ers that didn't care about the money. But the majority of people do. And especially when parents are buying for their kids, well, why would I pay $100 more for parents that are uninformed? There's a lot of them out there that are uninformed. They're going to look, oh, these two are the new ones? Well, this one's cheaper. I'm going to buy that one because it's not something they're using. They'll spend $600 on a new iPhone that's exactly the same one they had last year, but they won't give the extra $100 to their kid because of the console because it's not something they're using. So, anyways, I'm done.
Yep. I'm ready to move on.
Me too.
Sorry, guys.
Just because it's Tuesday there or Monday already. All right, Rob. Let's get to the community.
All right. Make sure to join the Facebook group. That's this Xbox Life Facebook group. It's a closed community, so your boss and your friends that don't play games won't be able to see what you're posting and so forth. They won't ridicule you and whatnot. Not that they would. I'm just saying. So join the group. Lively community over there. Lots of posts daily. Definitely check it out. You can contact us through email at contact@thisxboxlife.com. We're also on Twitter at this Xbox Life is the Twitter call sign handle, whatever you want to call it. We have a voicemail system on the website. That's thisxboxlife.com. There's a widget on the right-hand side that allows you to leave a voicemail, and we'll use it in the show. In the community section. So if you'd like to get yourself heard, definitely do that. It's a very cool way to contact the show. And now there's a couple ways that you can support the show in addition to the usual Amazon affiliate way. If you get any benefit out of the show, please consider backing the show on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/this Xbox Life. $1 a month, whatever you want to do, just go on there and make it so. Also, Twitch alert donations are available. It's twitchalerts.com/donate/this Xbox Life. That's a one-time, whereas Patreon is recurring. And so for this week, we don't have any voicemails, but we did get an email, and this is an awesome
Rob,
email.
Hold up. Sorry, I need to add it to the thing, but Cafe Press is also...
Oh.
We're selling gear, man. Gear!
Oh, that's right.
I didn't have it down there. I will post it now. But if you are looking to buy TXL t-shirts, mugs... Gosh, I don't even know what's all out there. Cups, bags, purses, mouse covers, or mouse pads. There's even like iPhone cases and stuff like that. I think there's a sweater for your dog or your cat. I mean, I can't remember if I put all that stuff in there. License plate covers, flags, keychains. You can get them there. So, another way to support us. All right, move it on.
We did get an email from Boxaman or Boxaman. I'm not sure exactly how that goes, but this actually. This email made me laugh out loud when I saw it. Boxman writes in, Don Bradman Cricket, you are kidding. Like croquet? And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I think that was said. And it goes, bowling underarm. Australians understand your weird sports, NFL and NHL, but you have not even a basic understanding of cricket. And then we got sent a link to a YouTube video on it. That was awesome.
Yeah, did you guys watch that? Because I here's the thing. Reading his message, I was like, I kind of felt bad. I was like, dang, man, I'm sorry. I kind of, I did. I was like, I'm going to go watch his YouTube video and I'm going to learn how to play cricket. Dude, by the time that thing was over, I'm like, what the heck did I just watch? I'm more confused now. And I took it, I'm like, that was a joke, right? I'm like, was this, because it's all about the guys that are in will be out, and when they're out, they'll be in. It just kept going back and forth until both teams have been out and in, and then they're back out and in. I was just like, I thought he was sending us a legit video on what the game means, and it was like more of a joke. So I'm more confused now. What do you guys think? Did you figure out what cricket is?
I just want to know, like, this dude keeps like rubbing his crotch in that video.
Yes,
I'm like, what is that all about?
I don't know. Oh, it was. I don't get it. Sorry, Boxer Man. I don't know. That didn't help.
I work with a bunch of people that obviously are from multiple countries and stuff like that, and cricket's a big one of their big sports and stuff. So they're up at like 3 a.m., 2, 3, 4 a.m. watching cricket matches and stuff. And they sat down and explained it to me. It's actually a really cool sounding sport. I mean, it's something that, I could see myself, liking if it was, here in the States and really available. So.
Yeah, there's a park out by me, about maybe a mile or two away. Huge park, probably one of the biggest ones in the area. And during the summer, I don't know if it's a league or what it is, but there's a ton of people that are playing cricket.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's definitely here in the States.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Good stuff, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe that's it.
All right.
Trying to figure out. I got to figure out how to add some words to our spam protection.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Sorry,
actually,
everybody.
We're about to hit the 2-hour mark here, so I think we better wrap this thing up pretty quick, guys.
Yep, we need to. So what's coming out new?
All right, retail releases for the coming week. Xbox 360 has Scream Ride and Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 2. For Xbox One, we have Scream Ride again and Resident Evil Revelations Episode 2, along with White Knight. Whenever I see this, I always think of, what do you say when you say White Knight? You guys, no?
No.
You guys know?
I don't
Yo,
know.
baby, yo, baby, yo.
Okay.
It's an old school song. Anyway, so that looks to be about it for this coming week.
All right. So I think that is it then, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the Xbox Live message?
Did I get
Did
an
I put in?
Xbox Live message?
No. I got an Xbox Live message from. I put it in under the Facebook thing. Sorry, in our community. It's from Zero Viper, XER0VIPE or 3R. He sent me a message, said, "Can I get a shout out on the show tonight?" ? I hit 100K gamer score today, which was on 215. I forgot to put it in there, so wanted to give him a shout out for his.
All right, guys, I got to cut out. I'll catch you later.
All right,
Have
see ya.
a good one.
All right. Well, with that, we are taking off. So thank you for watching. I am Mark, aka Wingman709, taking off.
And we're all already left, but I'm Brun, BJ, Swick33. Everybody have a good one.